Podcasting.
It's in danger of growing stale. I'm taking it to strange new places.
It was worse than the Chinese food I ate, which I already had diarrhea twice from.
Everybody's telling us to stop doing what we're trying to do.
And we're off. It's inane blather.
Like a dirty shirt.
Well, not if I'm wearing it. I wear dirty shirts all the time. I'm disgusting. I'm an animal. Actually, no, I hate wearing dirty clothes. I go through clothes way too often. I'm constantly changing my clothes. But
And we're off.
That's something you got to know about me. I am. We are off like a dirty shirt.
Yeah.
So, but it is episode 123.
Oh,
Episode
nice. That's what I
ABC 123. With Natalie and
Doug? That's not a name that
that exists. But yeah, it's Inane Blather, the show that has always had the motto, the slogan, our mission statement, which is always has been and always will be.
Nothing like a good New York slice.
And that's what it's always been. I don't know. You can go back to every episode. It's always been in there.
Nothing like a good New York slice.
We're not gaslighting you or anything, but
Gaslighting doesn't exist.
Socialism is when no car.
Oh yeah, sorry to go over that. I love that saying. Yeah. Yeah, gaslighting doesn't even exist. You're just crazy. Yeah. Anyway, today, of course, we'll talk a little bit about the, but mostly,
Hell yeah.
mostly, it's all just to appeal to our massive crowd of
headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
I can mostly say it when he's doing it, but man, 123 episodes of this bullshit show, and I still, like, if I try to do it from scratch, I still can't do it. It's like, I hear it on the show when we do it, I edit the show, man, and I still can't hear it. But let me turn you up in my headphones here, so that I can hear more easily that
you're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm gonna kill you.
No, I'm just kidding. I wanted to hear
Nothing like a good New York slice.
something that you've been saying, that we've been saying over and over again.
I wish I could credit. I was just thinking I want to credit. I just saw it on Instagram and it just really cracked me up. And she just says it over and over again, eating a really hot slice of pizza on the street and just saying that, nothing like a good New York slice. And then she takes a bite. She's like, nothing like a good New York slice. Like, it just really.
Mary Shalabi.
Shout out to her random. Exactly.
Yeah, Mary.Shalaby, Shalaby. So I don't understand it. I don't know why it's so funny, but
Nothing like a good New York slice. This shit
this is the mouthful of hot pizza, just eating it on the street, as one does, I guess.
Street pizza.
I've never been to New York myself, so I'm sure there's nothing like it.
We saw nothing like a good Seattle slice when we were walking in Seattle. We did see people walking with pieces of pizza, but they looked very Seattle. They were like white sauce. So
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that, but I don't think that's a New York slice.
I like all sorts of pizza. That's for sure. Yeah, I did go to Seattle. I saw you. I saw you and Humberto. Saw Zach. Shout out to Inane Blather listeners, and longtime friends and everything. I was happy to see people, and also had ramen for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Which is kind of crazy for some people, I'm sure, but and legit, it was so good, that place, that I dreamed about it
Was it about the egg? Yeah.
No, it was about the broth. It was
Yeah.
so good at the end there. It was, oh man, just finishing it off like, oh God, it was so flavorful and creamy and delicious. Oh my God, it was amazing. It was funny waking up from it and being like, was I really just dreaming about going to that restaurant again?
That's
That
Danbo
ramen place.
Ramen in Seattle, in Cap Hill. People,
Yeah.
shout out to them. It's very good. It's very good. And the soft-boiled eggs are like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Just like
It was fantastic.
really yummy.
Yeah. And real simple. Service was great. Yeah. Top spot as that's my go-to if you follow my my food channel. That's my registered trademark. Top spot. Yeah. Is kind of my 2 thumbs up, or we'll see you at the movies. Mine is top spot. Yeah.
Or 5 bags of popcorn and a little pair of chopsticks.
And a little and 1 soda or a cup of water where you can dunk a little plastic hobbit. And when it's not a good place, I say it's
not good.
That's how I say it, and that's a registered trademark
that makes
as well.
sense, yeah.
Or I say it, it's not good because
it's because you're an honorless, lying little turd.
That's what I tell the waiter. I always blame the waiter. I'm sure it's the waiter's fault. Never a waitress. Always a waiter. As the saying
Always
goes.
a waiter, never a waitress. Always a Clydesdale, never a Clyde, eh, Bojack? He's like, you'll get that one on the way home.
Not good.
So, besides in my, of course, the CEO killing by
The what?
you
what?
by hashtag the adjuster, as some people are calling him online,
Nice.
which is fun. I had little silly things written on here. I had Neon RoboCop written. I don't know where that's going. I'll have to revisit that. But
It must have been like one of those ramen fever dream sort of situations. You woke up. This is gonna kill on inane.
I also wanted to regretfully inform you, Natalie, that I had the TV on. The TV was on in the background. CBS was on. I saw that our good friend of the show, actor Gary Cole, was playing a serious dramatic role on NCIS. I was pretty disappointed.
Ooh,
Looked horrible.
That hurts.
Yeah,
It's me right here.
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They were all like,
"Oh man."
Yeah. So if you could come in on Saturday to shoot that pointless, unnecessary scene, that'd be great.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh well. Get the bag,
I just
Gary.
sent-
Maybe he's having fun doing it. It's a
Sure,
huge
that's
show.
what I feel like. Sometimes too, it's like, who cares? It's like you're just going and working, getting paid some stupid
He's
amount
an
of money
actor.
for some of these too. Yeah.
Probably loves it.
But I just sent that to Zach, actually, that NCIS that we were talking about, where the hacking one.
Yeah, the hacking.
It's just
Oh,
like
man.
so, it's like all just stupid formulaic shows, in my opinion, because I'm a huge fucking condescending snob. But yeah, it seems like if you just get a job like that, acting, seems like it'd be fun. Obviously, even if you're in like something that's not very good, it's just like, well,
Sure.
I'm on screen. I get to play this role. I get to get my bag. And some of these that are like serialized and whatever, I think that TV stars
Work
can make
with great people. Sure.
Yeah,
Whatever.
like everybody, and it's like, we're not making Casablanca here.
No, I mean we're literally not making the movie
this is not-
Casablanca.
Yeah, this is not about a man in a bar.
Yeah. Also, let's see here. Todd Starnes had that book. We went over that when I was over at your place. They checked my dipstick and found nothing on it
covered in
but
gravy?
Yeah.
Is that about the U.S. economy or something? I don't know. I don't remember.
Have you ever heard of the New York Times pitch bot? There's this. I used to see it on Twitter, and it's on Blue Sky as well. It's like it's just a parody of like it's like this parody bot pitching headlines for the New York Times. And this one that I saw, let's see. We wanted to understand what's going on in South Korea, so we talked to 3 Joe Rogan listeners at an Arby's in Harrisburg. And I was like, it's so, nice. It's spot on. It's like, what, that it just, maybe not just the New York Times in particular. Maybe it could be. I don't read a lot of the New York Times, but man, that is really a type of media that they just love that shit. It's like it might even seem interesting or capture your attention or kind of trick you into it at first, but halfway through when it's suddenly like, wait, who gives a fuck about this guy's opinion? Why are we? Oh, well, we'll talk to normal Americans about it. And partway through, you just realize, why? Why am I listening to normal Americans' opinions on this stuff? Who gives a fuck? Why no one asked me about it? I'm a normal American. Who gives a shit what I think about it? I don't give a shit what I think about it. I don't know anything about it. That's why I'm reading the fucking New York Times about it. Like, what? What's the point of this?
It depends on their commentary about it, because it's like, that's the whole thing about, sure, people are entitled to their opinions, and it is interesting to know how many opinions there are out there, but also without any sort of like, I don't know what kind of fact checking and stuff they do in that. Journalism is when no form
people's opinions on this stuff with the way that you conduct it. That's the only way that people form opinions on these things. It's like, other than that, they're propagandized through social media. That's what you're contending with here, or just straight up lying politicians on social media lots of times. Like, it's oh man, it's just nonsense so often. It is what I say. No.
Yeah, I think that it's like not good. Like, we talk about that all the time when there's like articles where it's just like seriously, like literally pretty much quoting Twitter. Like, that's the whole article where it's like, so what about that these people said that? How is this I know that people think these kinds of things.
Yeah.
But that doesn't give me any more sort of like, it's like, yeah, sure, I can see it written down now, something I already kind of assumed people are thinking to be able to vote this way or whatever you're talking about. But like, what does that do for me? What am I learning from this? What is that just like, just so
that's funny.
It's make divisive or something like that or whatever. It's getting you to read.
Look at the range of opinions people have. That's funny to say that, like, hey, New York Times, when you do an article like this, what's the difference between, like, how is this not just a long-form version of the trash that the Daily Mail is making when they do a quick article like, hey, look at what people are saying about blank. And it's just a quick article that's made out of people saying stuff on Twitter, It's like, the only difference is that, you're doing it long form and you're going out and talking to them. And it's like, sure, you're stringing it together with some flowery language, you're describing the people, you're doing all this and that. It's like, but at the end of the day, like, where are we going with this? What's the purpose of this? Just to say that, people are saying lots of different things. People really have some opinions on this stuff. Yeah.
Everyone seems to have their own individual opinion about these things, It's like we're all these unique human beings. It's like,
It's like, and they're not experts, and they're really not experts on them. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, what is the point of this article? Is it supposed to build like compassion for people that think differently than you? Is it just like, what people are saying? Or I don't really know, like, what it's like, why are you writing this? Why did you choose? It's like, what is the title of that fake one? It's like, we want to know what people are thinking, so we went.
What's going on in South Korea? It was from last week because of the vote of no confidence and stuff like that. Because, if, in case people don't know, if all you're doing is listening to Joe Rogan listeners at an Arby's in Harrisburg, then you might not know that the world's crumbling around us right now. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
the French government collapsed. There's a vote of no confidence, and then, there's an impeachment going on in South Korea after martial law was declared, and we elected Trump again.
Yeah, I guess it's like the point of like something like that, like an article, seeing what people are saying. Is that supposed to like help influence politicians? Would that be the point of some of these? Is like, but you have to have like some sort of non-biased thing. But or like, what else is the point of like knowing what people are saying or caring? Like, why would we even give a shit? Like besides that we're a democracy and stuff like that, and we don't have, I don't know what kind of like decisions that are being made, and like like the media is supposed to. I feel like maybe that's like a good place for them to be holding, powerful people accountable by not just the things that they're doing, but what we're wanting also, and I guess that's what your legislators and representatives are supposed to be for, but they can't ask us about every single issue that they're going to vote on and stuff. We're just supposed to trust them, kind of.
That's your idealized version, right?
Dude, we don't. Yeah. Yeah. So it just feels like...
No.
But how do they know what their people care about besides people calling and telling them, or if they read the fucking newspaper and they say, oh, so-and-so thinks this way, that's my constituents, or whatever. But I
guess that's at the end of the day, when they're saying, we can't do this, it's a PR nightmare, that's what it is. It means this will be in the media. Yeah, so it means that, this will be in the paper of record, or this, we'll have articles will be written about this. What?
My recording just stopped.
Oh.
And I don't know if it's on it, like...
Well, everything's recording on my end.
Well, it's recording now. It's recording now,
okay.
But
well, you can put it back.
It was like my microphone, so I don't know if it's going to be a different quality now. Well, that's a bummer if that's the case, but...
Well, it's recording now, so it's fine.
It's going, so we'll see. But anyways,
blah,
blah, blah. That's what PR nightmare is. You're right. That's what the media, it's like, yeah, motherfuckers, that's what you're supposed to be doing. What are you guys doing? Legitimately. Like, what your job it could be, like, very important and impactful, a voice of the people, sort of, speaking truth to power, and like, legitimately, what the fuck are you doing?
Consent, of course.
And sensationalize, I mean, like, they're sensationalizing, they're just like for profit, all this kind of stuff, and it's like, who is this good for besides you guys? We're not being heard, nothing's being done. People that are in power, they don't feel, I don't know how much they feel pressure from these bullshit media, whatever. Yeah, you know what? Fake news.
Yeah.
But genuinely, it's bullshit. Like how the mainstream media really, like how they give us information, how uneducated we are. It's not school that makes us stupid, it's like all the rest of the time we're not in school, which is most of our lives, reading the fucking news. And this is how you educate us. This is why we're all so fucking ignorant, because of you motherfuckers.
It's brutal. Yep. Yeah, it's like not only the fact that we only have so much time outside of our mind crushing work that we have to do, that we, have to, or, a few people get to do things that they like to do. I mean, to educate yourself on what's going on around you, or further, your knowledge and stuff. And it's like, you'd have to further your knowledge on how to appropriately further your knowledge in order to do it correctly, so that you're not propagandized into oblivion, which is crazy. It's but it's like, well, that's the world we live in. You can't know what's real and what isn't. Well, that's the way it goes.
You
it's
could
like,
just be in an existential horror your
we
whole
go.
life,
Everyone in everything in power and every system, the way that it works, it's all working against you. So what are you going to do?
So why don't you just like accept that? That seems like, hey,
life's
everything's
short.
horrible
Might
and that's
as well
the way it
accept
is.
And just enjoy the small crumb of peace that you can get on this planet, and just be
fuck
a
all the people
machine.
that come after you, like fuck your kids,
it's like,
or all that kind of stuff.
Or you can gosh dang it, there's too many things on here. oh, it's because my finger was literally on it and covering it up. I was like, or you can get up early enough. You can go to a Manhattan street in broad daylight where they're having a healthcare conference, and you can just...
Nothing like a good New York assassination.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
And then right afterwards, you hop on a city bike, and then you just take a short break, and you say...
Nothing like a good New York slide.
But, yeah, so of course, it's already old news that it happened, and so many things have happened since then. But, like, all the minutia and stuff... Like, it doesn't really matter to me. Like, I mean, even just today, to date this. Anyway, to date this. Because it's the only things that I can date is these episodes because I'm terminally
You're
single.
Wiener.
Yeah. But, like... it's been coming out like on Twitter and Blue Sky and stuff like that. They're like, oh no, like supposedly the guy that they have in custody, that's supposedly the shooter, whatever, has this kind of problematic, or just that his politics are all over the place. He's kind of a right wing, maybe like Joe Rogan-esque, like kind of all over the place
maybe?
Politics, and it's like. Me personally, I mean, one of the people I follow, they're like, well, now that he's kind of come out as a right-winger, I hope you can all kind of apologize about your reactions to this tweet. And just kind of there's a whole back and forth going on Twitter. And my quote tweet, like many others, is the classic Norman Rockwell guy standing up and saying something brave, which is usually a joke, but I said, I don't care if the guy's a right winger. I literally don't. Like, I don't care. No. I don't care if the guy's, this super good looking guy. I don't care if they get the right guy. I don't care. In the grand scheme of things, like, of course I care.
Sure.
I mean, but it's like, this is not the most important part of this story is my thing. The most important part of this story is that this is the most uniting thing that's ever happened in terms of, like, I don't know, like class solidarity, like that rich people at least have ever seen. Like, this dude was murdered in cold blood in broad daylight in Manhattan, and the reaction from normal people has been laughter across the board.
It's been, like, very positive, or at least understanding.
Yes.
Like, it's been the most nuanced that people have been able to get is with this topic. And it's like, oh yeah, who would have ever thought that healthcare was a fucking uniting issue?
Yes.
Definitely not those fucking Democrats. But seriously, it's like the most, I think, of course, it's like interesting to see who would do that. And like, I feel like that's like an interesting thing to know about. But I think most important is that people, it's like immediately after this guy, regardless of reasons, regardless of all the conversation after this, or a lot of it, has been like understanding of why people would be so okay with like murder.
Yeah.
Like, where it's like the immediate reaction being like just understanding this guy's perspective, and not like he's like, it's the treatment of him. Even, I mean, like, in the media is like a little bit different than, some other like terrorists or whatever you want to say. And you could say white and blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of those things, but it's like, because it's hard to go against what we all know, where it's like, when you're saying they made these billions in profits, it's like, yeah, this is healthcare. Again, we all know, every single person, even these hack journalists, have probably in their life known someone at least to have struggled within our healthcare system because of an insurance company. So it's like, this is like a very interesting thing to see happen, is that people are like, if not glad or whatever, if you can like schadenfreude or whatever that is, that's fine. And I feel like definitely I'm like, fuck this guy, obviously.
Yeah.
And I admire for whatever reason. It's like, I don't care if this guy's a psycho or whatever. I feel like the societal reaction afterward is extremely telling about how we feel about our healthcare system.
Yeah. Well,
like,
and
that's what's important.
And that's the thing. I mean, and for me, it's like, because it's healthcare and because it's the largest for-profit healthcare company, United Health Group or whatever.
If
United
people
Health,
murdered the
like,
Exxon CEO, it would not be the same. It would not be the same reaction from some of these same people that are like understanding or like borderline gleeful. Even though Exxon CEO's responsible way more abstractly for a lot of death and stuff like that, of course, like with climate change, but it is because he is a CEO of a health insurance company. He's not any CEO. If he was Elon Musk, if he was Jeff Bezos, if he was any of these other guys that are also so fucking horrible for us, they're killing us, they're going to cause, mass, like migration all across the globe because of their carbon, all this kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Huge impact.
But, just as much.
But it's a lot more abstract than this motherfucker
just directly
denying claims to children that have cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like very like a clear line. The buck stops with you, motherfucker. Yes, like it's really, and again, if any party ever cared about us, if any governing body or whatever, and like really wanted to have a winning message also, this is it, guys. We're gloating over the death of a father of two because he fucked us over with our insurance. We can clearly see this is wrong. We want something different than this. We hate this. It makes us rejoice in cold-blooded murder. That's how much we hate this.
Yes.
We say, fuck this guy. He deserves to get shot in the fucking head on the street. And when it happens, we like it because you make us feel this way because of the choices you're making.
Yes.
It really is.
It's like in any of these fucking people that you see stand up even in the most milquetoast way online and say, well, you know what? I mean, I kind of get it, but I mean, murder's wrong. The overwhelming reaction is just like, shut up. Shut up, but nerd. Fuck you. And it's like, and every time you see those people do it, they're fucking liberal shills, Democrats. Shut up. Like,
but what I'm
listen,
saying, even that,
read the room.
Even saying I kind of understand where they're coming from, that is huge. That is like compromising with straight up a bullet to the fucking head on the street. They're like, and seeing that happen, they're saying, I can understand, but that's not the right way to go. I'm saying that can even understand. That's how unifying. Even these fucking idiotic libtards can get behind the understanding of why people are so beyond frustrated with healthcare.
Yes.
That they've seen their grandparents die. They've seen, there's story after story after story after story of people being affected. And that's not even getting into the long-term, more abstract ways of why we have shorter lifespans because of these motherfuckers, than we could. And it's like, there is no excuse for this guy. If he cared about healthcare, he could run a fucking nonprofit. But he couldn't, because you know why? All he knows is for profit. He's a worthless succubus that literally feeds off of our bodies, something that no single human being even has a choice in. That's like a kind of a part of it.
Yes.
Is we like inhabit like a body. I cannot help it.
Can't
I'm like
exist without
literally
it.
born into it without even asking to be born, motherfucker, and you're profiting off it. Good. I'm glad you're fucking dead. You deserve it.
Yeah.
And your wife's a stupid bitch for loving you.
Yeah. It's like
So, fuck you.
It's like, it's crazy that it's like the jokes immediately that come up from it. It's like, well, hope your fucking ambulance was in network, Imagine your claim getting denied.
Exactly.
It's like, that's immediate go-tos. It's like, for a reason, motherfucker. Like, it's insane what normal people have to deal with. Like, it's like exactly
You're on your way
right,
to a shareholders meeting, so.
Like, right when this happened, I went to the fucking dentist with my so-called good insurance plan that I pay for and my employer pays so much fucking money for. So much money. And I got a cleaning that I desperately needed. Otherwise, more teeth were going to fall out of my fucking skull. And sealants on my teeth. And before walking out, I had to pay $680 for being there for an hour. And it's like, and it's stuff that just I needed. You know, and I mean, these people need to make a living and all this stuff. But it's like, why is Aetna, why do they cover some of it and not the others? And why am I paying $80 out of every paycheck and my employer is paying like, it's so much money.
Oh yeah,
it's
small
crazy.
businesses. It's such a huge burden to like provide insurance.
Yeah,
truly. Like if you run a small business, it's like, I mean, and thousands of dollars a month is a lot for a small business. You know, like this shit really adds up. But yeah, that's and people don't, because it's so complicated. Like that's where it can get like into some even like higher level stuff where it's like people choose to not go to the doctor because they don't know what's going to be covered. They don't do these things. Like you can't take care of yourself. And the only reason this technology exists is to make us better. That's why these research scientists develop these things. They're not millionaires like that murked motherfucker. They're people, they might make good money. They dedicate their lives. They work 9 hours a week.
The person who provides my insurance.
Yes. I worked with some of these people, research scientists that are building things to make things, that make tools and da-da-da-da-da. And they do it because they give a shit about people and they're super smart that way. They're not out for the money. Like those absolutely useless, just like
drains,
just mooches of society. That's all they do. They just take and they give nothing.
Yeah.
They are so worthless, these CEOs. Like it literally only provides shareholder value. It just provides something for the stock market. That's all this. And that's not even a real thing.
Yeah.
These are like, teeth are real. You know what's real? A scaling tool to clean your tooth.
Yeah.
You know what's real? A fucking microscope to look through, to look at cancer cells.
Yeah.
Those are real with real people looking at it. And you're making more money? You stupid, worthless piece of shit. God damn it. What a worthless, garbage waste of a human life with your huge, beautiful human brain. That's what you decided to do. And it, you know what it did? Thank God it got it blown out all over the sidewalk. That's the best thing that ever happened to your fucking brain.
But, and it's like, so everyone kind of comes together to shout down the lib nerds that are like, murder's wrong. Including people like just today, of course, Josh Shapiro going out there, you know what? Unequivocally, murder is wrong no matter who it is. Meanwhile, he's out there, covering up a murder years ago with his brother or whatever, his brother-in-law or something like that. I don't know. I'm not going to look it up. This is Nate Blather.
Nice.
But also, being a full-throated, big-time supporter of, Israel's genocide of the Palestinian people.
Oh, yeah.
So, murder's wrong. Yeah, shut the fuck up, you little dweeb.
We should have let Osama bin Laden live.
Yeah.
We can't go killing people. What the heck, guys?
You know what? Fine. Sure. Yeah, we should have let Osama bin Laden live. He was just jacking off in a fucking McMansion in Pakistan. Who gives a fuck?
I'm like, if you're anti-death penalty, you're anti-death penalty. So I guess murder is wrong by the state. But that would be...
because you know what?
Interesting crossover.
Because you know what? Because we can't murder a company. If you want to murder a company, that sounds good. If we could just nationalize all these companies, sounds great.
Yeah.
We don't have to murder every Brian Johnson. We don't have to murder the CEO of Aetna. I mean, like we've come to learn, these CEOs are very scared because we will not feel sorry for the loss of them. Like, it
will feel good,
not
honestly.
matter.
It'll be like the best orgasms of our lives.
Like, there's already, just street art everywhere, and people sell fucking T-shirts of this one guy dying, like straight up.
Hell yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't have to be like this. And bring it all the way back to like me not caring whether the guy's a right winger. Even the whole idea is like, well, it's interesting to see how he got to that place. It's like, I mean, it's almost what makes it less interesting is the fact that like you're saying, this issue is so ubiquitous, like that it touches everyone from it doesn't matter. Like, Nazis deserve healthcare too, as we always say. It's like, yeah, so if he's a right winger, if he was a left winger, if he's in the middle, whatever, it's like, I mean, he got here because
probably wouldn't be
healthcare sucks.
Murdering people like that. Yeah.
And it's like maybe
healthcare.
Because healthcare sucks, he finally had a break. Because healthcare sucks, he's been screwed over. Because healthcare sucks, he just wanted to do something about it. Whatever it is, I mean, it's why we were all kind of, well, I get it. When the dude died, why someone put a fucking balloon at the site that said CEO down in the classic officer down font with the star, and the Daily Mail made the most unintentionally funny TikTok I've ever fucking seen in my life. I don't know if it's still up, but I think I downloaded it in case I'll probably repost it on Inane Blathers in case it isn't up anymore. But so everyone go check that out in TikTok at Inane Blather, inaneblather.com. Always be plugging. No.
And yeah, that's why rich people don't give, like, that's why they're, like what pushback is going to come from rich people. Oh, murder's wrong. Whatever. Bullshit.
I just love saying it so derisively because murder is wrong.
But sure, of course. Yeah. It's like, and I don't believe in capital punishment and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, because they don't understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
I don't even know if these people, like, what do they have insurance? These
people don't
fucking
understand
know about
anything about us.
They don't know insurance. These are fucking millionaires, and like some people like billionaires. Like, you think that a copay is something that they can even comprehend? Yeah. Like what that even means? These people are getting the best medical treatment you could possibly have, which I think everyone should have. I think that that's a good thing. That's what medical treatment is supposed to be for treating people. It should be available to everybody.
Medically.
Yeah, they just like, they can afford not only just insurance or whatever, anything to do with that, they can afford the best. They have no concept of what it's like to be going to a primary care physician in some of these places, low standards, kind of like truly what it means to live like working class, working poor, whatever you want to say, which is the majority of Americans. Yeah. The vast majority of us are in some way affected by healthcare costs, by insurance costs. It's the number one cause of bankruptcy is medical debt. God, like they don't have, they have like that guy, he's worth like, it's like $40 million. It's like, do you know what that means? You don't have, like, you make $10 million a year or whatever.
Ugh.
What do you mean? You could afford anything. You can do what you want. You can
$40 million.
Yeah, I mean, there's no concept of anything that we're going through. So it's like, oh, you guys are like just whining murderous things. And
Imagine
it's like,
the Christmas
yeah,
presents
and throughout
you
history,
could buy
that is kind
if you
of
were worth $40 million. That'd be so awesome.
I know. I think that they're like, buy this and pay off this for so and so, and I do that and whatever. I'd open a place for people could come and whatever. It's like, yeah, people who are normal people
that we're trying to fill in town. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'd want to give it to other people.
Yeah,
but they're not.
I've already spent
like
so much
us.
of my
they're
insurance payout on everyone's
like
Christmas presents this year.
Nice. Yeah. And you know what they would say? That makes them good with money, and that's like gross.
Yeah.
Cool. So what about people? Are you good with people? Because that's like, I don't know, infinitely, literally infinitely.
How do you think I made all my money?
Like,
be good with people? Gross.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just like a gross loser who literally wants to profit off of. I mean, like, can you imagine having a job where it's like, let's make it easier to deny claims when doctors that went to medical school and are treating patients are sending these prescriptions over. Let's figure out a way that we don't have to cover that because we know better. These guys are just, these grimy poor. They're just so greedy and grasping, little dirty hands. Ugh.
Yeah.
They don't
Wanting
really,
handouts.
they're just, yeah, like I just
medical
feel,
care.
yeah, and oh my God. It's so, I feel like I hope every single one of these big CEOs are so fucking scared right now. I would love to be someone in their life and just randomly be like, like scare them, I'm
a psycho.
Yeah. I'm going to gun you down.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to get you. Yeah,
You just do the whole Grinch thing. I wish I could just
I would
do more video stuff and cut in clips and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna do that. So
maybe we could ask. Humby said maybe they're interested. Put a pin in it. Put a pin in it.
We'll circle back.
Yeah,
Let CEO speak. I don't want to be on the list.
Yeah.
Because
nice.
We've already been talking like it.
Socialism is when no car.
but really,
true.
You just want to be able to have your needs met. That's one of the needs. Be able to, enjoy at least a moment so that you can just sit back and say,
That's like a good New York slide.
Or at least, it's like what we want to is for it to seem like more fair. Because part of it, it's so the inequality is staggering.
Yeah.
Where we're saying you really are living truly
at an all-time high.
They are in a different reality than we are. Their lives are so much different. The stresses that we have are not the same. They're not
well,
just imagine a day-to-day life of some of these people.
That dude got murdered and they just continued the whole conference. It just went on as planned. That's so
nobody
crazy.
Gave a shit about you, you fucking
and
loser.
Then to say
you rich fucking loser.
That us poors are being, disrespectful or whatever it might be. It's you're trying to fill his job position 48 hours later. He's the murderer for one thing.
He cared about the yeah, he really cared about the job. That was his life. And I'd be like, that's what I've learned from all of the media I've ever consumed is when most people are on their deathbed, they're like, I wish I would have spent more time at the office.
Yeah. This is the time of year, too,
was...
where we watch those all those movies and hear those stories about those people that really discover the true meaning, that they should be caring about the bottom line and about working more, not spending time with family and the people that they love. They should be more miserly.
These CEOs are those are horror movies like Scrooge or these Hallmark movies where it's business person.
There's a reason that they're
love
visited by
over...
ghosts. It's a horror movie.
Yeah, it's too scary. It's I hate Christmas time. I'm just reminded of all these stupid people choosing love over money. All these women in these Hallmark movies, what are they doing? Leaving their New York job? That's crazy.
Yeah, their New York job, but...
Nothing like a good New York slide.
They can't do that. Yeah, they watch It's a Wonderful Life, and it just ends when he jumps off the bridge. That's it. They're like, yep.
And they're like, where's Pottersville? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what kind of, ROI he's got on that. Yeah.
Potter's my hero. Yeah, they have the Potter posters.
Oh. God.
Yeah, right.
Potter posters. Yeah, I
got to get you
my microphone over.
Got to get you a stand like the one I got. I just got a new one.
Yeah, the one you got me doesn't work for this microphone. So.
Oh. Didn't come with an adapter? Should talk this through on the show.
It's in the store. Yeah. So let me just start. I'm like tiny screws. Yeah. I can't. I'm just.
Everyone's just like, man, oh man.
This is the worst music I've ever heard. Honestly, this is truly offensive.
But yeah.
They've been known to.
So really, now when it comes down to it,
I have some very personal shit to talk about. If you interrupt me again, I swear to God, you will be paying for it for a long time. And I'm sort of regretting praying to God for this show to work well because that seems to have bit me in the ass.
Okay. All right? So, I'm going to say this now once.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just building all this up. I have nothing to talk about.
Just like a blank screen with a cursor in front of you. It's go time.
Exactly. No, so, on top of that, yeah, I think, not to once again kind of date the show. Ooh, I'm in the wrong app here. I feel like the whole FBI suddenly out of nowhere really catching this guy, Luigi, the good-looking, hot shooter, really stinks to me. It stinks. I haven't, or where I got ratioed to oblivion by all these libs the other day. It stinks on ice. Everyone thought that when I said that, they're like, "What the fuck is that? Are you 100 years old?" A few people found it funny. I was like, "You've never heard that? Oh man!" And they would not address my actual question because they hated that phrase. It was really funny.
I would say with the guy, it seems strange that they could get him, but also, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised any which way that it went. But, you know, like, we live in a surveillance state also. You can really find, like, if you have access to NSA, all
especially
cameras,
New York,
Ring doorbells, all of these things, like, there is a lot of it. Like, it's everywhere. Ring doorbells, I mean, like, truly, cameras, all this kind of stuff. And the kind of access, who knows what they got access to without, if they really wanted to catch someone, what they could do. But I would feel like it just like seems too easy. I feel like, yeah, again, I don't have really like a strong opinion. I don't really care. I hope that, well, justice was served when he fucking killed that guy.
The justice will be served.
That's what
that's what America is known for, serving justice correctly. That's the thing is because I was convinced after the first few days, it's like, wow, the funniest thing is that this dude totally got away with it because he was a ghost. Like, 3 days had passed.
Got on an e-bike.
And the NYPD was like, I think he's gone. And everyone's like, yeah, no shit. I mean, the fact that you didn't find him on the first day means he's gone. Like, why wouldn't he be? Yeah. They found his fucking backpack filled with Monopoly money. Like, he was fucking taunting them. And then, from the jump, this, like, oh, here's the guy who, we think it is the suspect when he pulled his mask down to flirt with the cashier at Starbucks, and everyone's like, "Oh no, he's hot," and like, but from the very beginning, that guy who they've finally caught, this Luigi guy, doesn't look like the guy. He doesn't look like him, and I know it's like you can barely see the shooter from this stuff, but I'm just not convinced. It's all suddenly out of nowhere. Suddenly, finally, oh, now we got him. We got tipped off. We got him at a McDonald's. Yada, yada, yada. There's this whole story. There's all of these different, I don't know. It's very strange to me that this guy who actually did the shooting rolled up, got away with it, ghost like Swayze, and then suddenly happened to be this Luigi guy who was that sloppy and then gets caught so conveniently. It really stinks to me. Then you sound like a conspiracy theorist, but a conspiracy theorist? It's the fucking FBI. I don't know if we were talking about this before the show. It's like, come on. Mm-hmm. What they're the conspiracy guys. Like, what are you talking about? You ever read anything about MLK? You ever read anything about JFK? I mean, this is UHC. I mean, anything with initials, they've done a conspiracy with it.
FBI.
They're the FBI. But it's like any sort of American police force is just filled with actual conspiracies. They commit conspiracies. It's what they do, and they constantly get away with it because they're allowed to. They have the wherewithal to get away with them so that they can just continue on to the next thing. If they're caught up like, oh, we might not be able to solve this, then they just make something up so that they can solve it That's just, I mean, we've all seen this.
They're the cops. Come on.
They're cops.
I just was watching Grand Theft Auto, that one where he's like, as soon as he gets off the plane, the cops pick him up and like, we got a gun with your fingerprints on it. Killed a cop.
Exactly.
You know, we could blame it on if we wanted to, and we could totally put you away.
They're like, well, here's a guy who kind of looks like it that we had our eyes on because he's got some really weird views on healthcare stuff, and he went kind of crazy after being a smarty valedictorian. We could probably pin it on him. He's kind of nearby.
And here's a guy who did it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just very strange to me, but who knows? Maybe it's him. Maybe he did get that sloppy.
Oh, he's my hero. Whoever he is.
It's just very strange to me. But you know what's funny is one thing that I had bookmarked, and then you had brought it up, is someone 3 days ago, Cupcake Boner, at Cupcake Boner, said the CEO healthcare assassin was just the ghost of Christmas past, and CEOs are terrified about what the next 2 ghosts will bring.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty scary.
Also, I didn't realize I had bookmarked from a while back. Just for future reference, I really liked this. This comment, wow, babe, you sound dumber than a sack of dirty dog diarrhea, which is just, I love the flow of that.
Oh, my God.
And I want to use that more often, so I bookmarked it so I could share Roxy Demento's
dumber than a dirty
comment.
Bag of dog diarrhea.
Yep, than a sack of dirty dog diarrhea. I love that it starts out with, wow, babe. Wow, babe, you sound dumber than a sack of dirty dog diarrhea.
It's like, I love you, but boy... you got the runs coming out your ears.
Because I had often on Twitter, I would say, you have dog doo-doo in your head where your brain should be, or I'd say your skull is packed full of dog poop. Like things like that. I would say things like that, but I like that wording. You sound dumber than a sack of dirty dog diarrhea. Because if a sack of dirty dog...
bounce to
like,
it.
Dirty dog diarrhea, like as if it's not dirty enough
They're
already.
Clean? Yeah.
It's kind of funny. But what sound would it make? Like, are you dropping it? It's like, you know, ooh, yeah, I think we've got a sound for that. You know?
There it is.
Yeah. You drop it, it goes, and you say,
nothing like a good New York slap.
Nice.
Use that.
Nice.
Constantly. I'm so glad that you showed that to me, and then you were like,
I was.
Or do you drop the sack of? If you drop a sack of clean dog diarrhea, it's way different. It sounds like, for whatever reason, yeah, because that's why you have to make sure it's still dirty. If you clean it off, it doesn't work.
You get a whole other thing.
Then you kind of sound smart, actually. So you wouldn't want that. You'd be like, "Wow, babe, you sound smarter
like
than a sack of clean dog diarrhea." You're like, "Oh, thanks."
Babe, yeah, I've been reading.
You're like, wow.
How do I possibly figure out this impossible riddle? Thank you, life, you asshole.
Well, you just ask that sack of clean dog diarrhea. You'll know. So
it's got it all figured out.
So what else is coming up, Natalie? What are you excited about right now?
Christmas. Yeah, Christmas trip. Work, been getting things ready to go lobby our legislature about our ranked choice voting and all that kind of stuff. There's that going on. So I got a lot going on, actually. But
so leave me alone.
Yeah,
I put up
Christmas tree.
Just a few little Christmas lights in the background, but they don't show up very well. I wonder if I can change that as we're recording. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm worried about doing it. Probably not. Nah, I'm not going to. But there's little Christmas lights back there. And then next week we will we'll have like our last regular one, because the week after that we'll be in Vegas together just before I leave.
True.
So I think we'll probably take Christmas week off. So sorry to our
guys.
tens of fans.
There are dozens of us.
But maybe next week we'll have to think of some sort of Christmas themed thing. No politics.
And a happy new year.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
A Douglas fir. It's the holiday season.
And when you reprogram the Douglas fir, so when someone walks past it and it just says,
I love Karl Marx.
But,
That would be awesome.
or you walk past the Douglas fir and it just says, sit down! Whoa! Whoops! But we'll have to think of something fun to do. Anyone who listens this far in, if you have any ideas, let us know.
Let us know. Let us know.
Yeah. If it has to do with singing, I don't want to do it. It
has to do with dancing. I don't want to do it.
So singing and dancing it is. But also, so maybe we could talk about Christmas music, something fun, something funny. Maybe we can argue with an AI chatbot about the true meaning of Christmas for an hour straight.
Nice. We can play the AI game that is on Discord.
Yeah.
That you write a
We'll see
prompt.
how that goes.
Berto and I played that too.
Okay. Well, I love you.
All right. Love you
Shout
too.
out to RM Brown.
Everybody.
That was a really nice one.
Danae.
Thanks, Inane Blather.
Happy Winterfest. Happy work
Winter
holiday
solstice.
parties that everyone had this past weekend, probably. Seems like. Yeah. Happy upcoming December-ween.
It's the 21st. Winter
solstice. Yeah, but we're going to...
And a happy new year.
We'll have another episode before then, so... God damn. You know, this is on video. People can see your eye rolls now.
It's because you're an honorless, lying little turd.
But,
Nice. All right, bye.
Okay.
You're still trying to impress others by who you know. You're still skating for others, and you're not doing it for the Lord.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.